Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amelia and I have an addiction for starting fantasy series. So at the moment, I believe I'm currently reading 14 series and I will list them in a moment so you kind of know the vibe of what I like to read. But I think it is time that I make some progress on actually finishing these series before I start more series, which something about starting a new series just hits different. But finishing a series also is very rewarding, so I would like to do that and then I can like clear up some mental brain space keeping all these characters and things in my head for future reference. I mean, not that I'm going to forget them the second I finish the series, but you know what I mean. Like, if it's concluded, then I don't have to wonder about what happens to those characters. So I thought today we would do a little bit of a reading vlog where I try to work on finishing series that I've already started. And I did get the inspiration for this video from Just Ali, so go ahead and check out her channel once you finished with this video. But let's go ahead and take a look at all the series that I am currently reading. So I have my little list here, and actually I think I might have missed some, but it doesn't matter. You get the general idea. These are the ones I'm like actively thinking about. So I'm first going to do a list of the series where the next book is available. And then I'll have a separate list for the ones where the next book is not out yet. So I kind of have an excuse for why I haven't finished it yet because the series isn't finished. So, series with the next book available that I'm currently reading are Wheel of Time, Miles and Book of the Fallen, the Echoes Saga, the Lady Trent series. I think it might have an actual name, but I don't know what it is. The Gentleman Bastards series, the Lycanius trilogy, Stormlight Archive, Faithful and the Fallen, the Greenbone Saga, and The Witcher. And then for my list of books with the next book not currently out, we have the Legendborn cycle, Bloodsworn, The Last King of Ostenard, and Between Earth and Sky. So that is the list we're currently working from. And yeah, I need to choose a series to continue. And I will admit that I have actually already chosen. And I'm going to be reading first New Spring from the Wheel of Time. So technically I did finish the like main Wheel of Time arc, and a lot of people read just that and say the series is finished, and I would totally agree with that. You'd say that you read all of it. This is kind of just additional material, but I included a spot for this in the series tracker in my reading journal, so I'm going to count it as part of the series. So yeah, this is the first thing that I want to read. I'm definitely in a bit of a book hangover from finishing Memory of Light, and I feel like I need just like a little bit more in that world. So yeah, this is my first pick, and then after that I'm not 100% sure, but I think I'm probably going to read some stuff from the Lady Trent series, at least one of them. I have 2 out from the library, the last 2 actually, so I could potentially finish 2 series in this video. But I also have, I also have the 3rd book in the Echoes Saga, as well as book 2 in the Stormlight Archive on my TBR for this month. So these are contenders, but I think probably not Words of Radiance, just because it's such a long book that there's no chance I'll finish it in this video. But I could potentially finish this one. It's around 500 pages, and it's got pretty large words and stuff. So this could be a possibility. As far as the other stuff, I don't really have any of the other books on hand. So I'll probably start with, as I said, Wheel of Time, and then possibly Lady Trent or Echoes, or if I'm really feeling it, then I might go Stormlight. But yeah, I'm not sure yet. So let's go ahead and get started on the final book in the Wheel of Time universe, New Spring. do a bit of a reading update. I am now a bit over halfway through New Spring, and I'm really enjoying it. I really think that reading this directly after Memory of Light, or at least after you finish Memory of Light, is the way to go in terms of reading order for Wheel of Time. I think that way this becomes more of like a, you finish the series and it's like you're in that, like, well, at least I was in like the kind of like book hangover kind of mood where you're like, I can't believe that this thing that I've spent all this time reading is over. And this kind of gives you just that like little bit more without it starting like a whole new arc, it gives you a little bit more information. And I think it's an interesting exploration of like where Maureen kind of came from to get to who she is in Wheel of Time. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying it so far. And I'm gonna keep sitting here and reading for now. I have to go to work a little bit later, but I think I can get another decent chunk of this completed, and maybe even complete this later today and get started on the next series, whatever that's gonna be. But yeah, that is my update on New Spring. So I went to work and I just got back a little while ago, had some dinner, and now I'm having a bowl of popcorn, and I'm going to try to finish off New Spring tonight. I have, I think, about 100 pages remaining, which shouldn't be too bad. I can't stay up too late because I have to go back to work in the morning, but I think we should have plenty of time to read the final 100 pages of this, and I'm interested to see where it leaves off. It's kind of almost a little bit sad that it's only 300 pages because it's like I'm not ready to be done all of the Wheel of Time content, but at the same time, if it was really long, it would probably feel like really drawn out and pointless. So yeah, that is my update. Gemma is here for the popcorn because she loves it. You want some popcorn? If I'm not careful, she will dive into the bowl. But yeah, I will be back with an update when I've done some reading. All right, I just finished New Spring and I really enjoyed it. It ended in kind of the perfect place, really. And yeah, I'm gonna have to choose a new book, but I'm gonna do that tomorrow at some point because I'm gonna go to bed. So I will see you tomorrow to choose the next series that we're going to continue. Because I just reached part 2, which is about page 103, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It's mostly been setup type stuff up to this point, which makes sense, but also this book is only like 350 pages long, so 100 pages of setup is a decent amount, but I don't know. I think it should be fine. And yeah, we've just sort of reconnected with, a character from the last book, and I really enjoyed their dynamic then. And it's a bit different in this one because of the situation that they've met under, but some things are setting up to look like there may be a more probably romantic aspect going on there. I'm not 100% sure how that's gonna pan out. And personally, I'm not like a, sorry, I'll just put the book down. Personally, I'm not like a huge romance reader, but I don't mind like a romance subplot if it's done well. So it'll be interesting. So it'll be interesting to see if that develops at all or not. But yeah, I'm reading this pretty quickly. It's definitely a lot easier to read something like this with like the not very many words on a page than a lot of the other fantasy that I've been reading recently. So like Wheel of Time, as I said. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. I'm having a nice relaxing evening at home by myself, which means I'm probably just gonna be pretty much read until I decide to go to bed, which probably won't be super late because I've been working mornings. But yeah, I'm gonna continue to read now. Alright, so my partner's friends over, so if you hear voices, just ignore them. But I have a reading update, and honestly, I've been doing a really bad job both reading and like I feel like updating for this vlog. So I did just finish Labyrinth of Drakes, but I'll be honest, like we are on week 2 of me filming this vlog, and usually the idea I go for is like trying to fit it in about a week, but yeah, I have only managed to read 2 books in this vlog so far, and I feel like 3 is like a good number for this kind of thing. Just, I don't know, it just feels like a good number to me. So we finished one series and made a 1-book progress in another series, but I was kind of thinking for our next book we may as well just go ahead and finish a second series, because I have Sanctuary of Wings here, which I'm pretty sure is the final book in this series. Yes, this is the concluding volume. So I think it would be fun if we managed to finish 2 series in a single video. And I just finished this one yesterday, so I'm kind of like in the mood for this series and to just go ahead and finish the next one. In terms of my review of this one, I'm not gonna say too much in this video just because I usually do the review in my monthly wrap-up or whatever. I end up titling that, but I enjoyed it. I feel like it kind of has the same problem as the last book where I felt that it wrapped up really quickly, but yeah, overall it was good. So I'm gonna do a little bit of reading now. I kind of feel like I want to bake some cookies or something, but I don't know when exactly. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this. Try not to hit myself in the head too hard with it. And yeah, I will give you an update when I've made some progress. So I'm at chapter, what chapter number is this? 7, which is page about 107. So I am pretty much exactly at a third of the way through. Yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. We've just kind of been introduced to the main like study area, I guess you would say, of this book, because each one kind of has like a study area and then there's whatever like subplots are going on. So we've been introduced to that, and we have made our way to approximately where we need to be. And so yeah, we have another 2/3 of the book to deal with the study, and then usually there's some sort of conflict that arises. So I'm not entirely sure what that's gonna be yet, but I've already kind of encountered some like minor setbacks, but I'm presuming there's going to be a larger, more, I don't know, meaningful, I guess, one that we will discover probably soon-ish. So I don't think I can finish it tonight. I think it's like 8:30 or something, but I reckon I can make a pretty good dent and then maybe finish it tomorrow, maybe? I don't know, but I want a snack, so I think I'm gonna make some popcorn and continue reading. So I am now only about 100 pages from the end, and as I was speculating, something quite large did happen. I mean, of course, like, it's gotta have a conflict. It's a book. But it was an interesting thing that happened that has kind of been like a theme that has been throughout all of the books, and as we have gotten further into this series, we've spent more and more time on that theme, which in retrospect maybe should have been a hint, but I didn't have any idea that it was going to become the main focal point of this final book and like the concluding arc of the series. So that's interesting. But yeah, as I said, I have like 100 pages left, so I'm on page 230. But I'm going to go to bed for the night and hopefully have some time to finish it up tomorrow and give my final thoughts and conclude this video. But yeah, good night. All right, friends, welcome to the wrap up of our series reading video vlog thing. Anyway, let's talk quickly about all the books that I read in this video. So first up, we of course had New Spring. This wrapped up everything in the Wheel of Time universe for me, and I definitely don't think that you have to read this if you read Wheel of Time, like to count as having finished the series, or just like for your own good or whatever. But I do think that it filled that void for me in my sort of post Wheel of Time book hangover, and I would say most of it I really enjoyed, and I will say that I feel like it kind of wrapped up really quickly at the end and didn't, I don't know, take the time with the things that were happening, you know what I mean? Like, it just kind of, it felt like he spent a lot of time like developing the characters at the beginning, and then it was just like things move really fast all of a sudden, and now Lan and Moraine are bonded, which isn't a spoiler because we know this from page 1 of the Wheel of Time. So yeah, that's my general thoughts on this. And then after this, I read In the Labyrinth of Drakes and Within the Sanctuary of Wings. These are books 4 and 5 of the memoirs of Lady Trent, and I really enjoyed both of these. I think I maybe enjoyed this one more just because the main like conflict in this kind of felt less believable maybe. I don't really want to spoil it too much, but it's kind of like there's this thing that is mentioned in the first book and kind of plays like a little bit of a role throughout all of them, and then it becomes like the main focus of this one, but the way that it does so, I was just kind of like, And yeah, like I was saying, in terms of like things wrapping up really quickly, that is kind of the theme of these books, is we spend a lot of time in like the build up and sort of like middling phase, and then there'll be like years that happen in like 2 pages at the end where we wrap up like a ton of really complicated things by just kind of her saying like, oh yeah, and then this was resolved and this was resolved. And it's like, well, I could have gone for more detail and showing me how these things sort of panned out, but at the same time I kind of understand why she doesn't, like in order to maintain the kind of length of the books and the sort of general pacing, and like I think these are adult, but they could maybe more like new adult. Like you could definitely read them as an adult and get a lot out of them, but there's nothing in them that would stop a younger person from reading and enjoying them. And I think the rapid conclusions are one of the things that make me feel like they're more sort of new adult, just because they don't sort of go into more of like the politics and all that kind of thing. I don't know, I just feel like adult fantasy books tend to be longer and they will go into those kind of things. They don't sort of shy away from some of that stuff. But yeah, I really enjoyed this series overall. It's about a female naturalist in a Victorian-inspired world who is interested in dragons, as you can see from the covers. So if that sounds interesting to you, I definitely recommend this series. I really enjoyed them. I've been reading them from the library, but I kind of honestly want to get my own copies. I just also think the illustrations are so beautiful, and there are illustrations throughout the books as well. The illustrator's name is Todd Lockwood, just in case you were interested. So yeah, that is everything that I read in today's video. It was actually highly successful in terms of finishing series because I managed to wrap up 2 series, so these can both get checked off my list. In fact, I have check boxes on my little list, so I will go ahead and check those off. That is quite satisfying, and that leaves me with, I believe, 12 series that I need to finish, 8 of which I could access the next book in. So yeah, let me know if you would like to see another part of this video where I work on some of those other 8 series, and I'm definitely probably going to start more series as the year goes on, so they will probably be added to the list as well. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what series you're currently reading, and I will see you next time.